Jean-Paul Gaultier's La Male Elixir. I'm Andrew. This is the Douglas Moon Fragrance channel, and I review fragrances from the luxurious all the way to the cheap and everywhere in between. And the guy who just has a regular job without disposable income, a wife and kids, and I don't just have money to just throw around, buy anything and everything. But I am passionate about fragrances. I try to give you my most honest opinion about these things while keeping in mind that people on the internet or anywhere's opinions are subjective. Your nose and your preferences are different than anybody else's. So at the end of the day, no matter what any of us on the internet talk about, you still need to go out there and as often as possible, blind buy as least as possible, and go to a store anywhere near you, a depot, and smell these things before you actually make the commitment. But I talk about these in a way as honest as I can, at least. I'm unsponsored. So that if you are considering blind buying or purchasing one of these and giving it an actual chance, at least you know maybe a better idea of what you're getting into without somebody trying to sell you something. But I am going to go ahead and tell you ahead of time, I actually do love this, and that's why I've got such a big container already. My wife loves this. It's one of her favorite scents that I have, although technically the ones that I've kept around, she loves them all. But this comes in a pretty cool tin container. I guess that's what this is. But even though it looks cool, to me, it's not the easiest thing in the world to get open. Once you open it, it has like a nice little pop. And I used to be afraid, oh my God, am I going to like destroy this thing by just popping it open? And I know a lot of people maybe don't even keep the containers that they come in. I love to do that. This comes on a cool little platform, even though the bottle itself, me personally, my wife agrees, and a couple of my friends, is a little on the silly side. But you know, everybody's got their own opinions. As you can see, it comes in a nice little man shape, little guy who's a lot more in shape than I am. Something to aspire to be. It doesn't have a cap. It comes with a little pulley thing here, and that's how you release it so you can actually spray it. The notes on this bad boy is supposedly lavender and mint as the top notes, with a honey and tonka bean going on there with vanilla, and then underneath it some tobacco. I'm gonna be honest with you though, even though it says lavender and mint as the top notes, I don't get that at all. And neither does my wife or most of the people that I've shown this to. The honey and the tonka bean and the vanilla is definitely what comes out like punching you in the face. It's not an offensive scent, but it is very, very strong. Most of these creamy, either vanilla-y or like in this case with the honey type of scents, that's what it's going to be like. They're going to be very long lasters, at least in my experience most of the time, more than even like a lot of your citrusy type of fragrances, summery type of fragrances that tend to be more skin scents pretty quickly within a couple of hours. These type of creamy things tend to, if you've had any experience with it, last an extremely long time. Even if something is citrusy but has like vanilla and creamy undertones, these fragrances tend to stay a pretty long time and have pretty decent projection. But this bad boy is definitely one of those. If you've ever smelled the EDT, the La Male EDT, or any of the other versions, they are pretty good as far as longevity goes. As far as I know, I don't own any of them, but I do have friends who have them, and throughout the day, especially at work, they seem to last on them pretty well. But this one I bought particularly after sampling them like at the mall at a local Macy's. I got this one because it was definitely different, but very beautiful. Again, now keep in mind, I like the creamy and vanilla scents. Vanilla-y scents or whatever, and it's atomizer as well. It's not like a super duper blaster like you're going to get out of a Sauvage, but it's also not as intimate as maybe like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. It's got a good little spray, but it fills up a room pretty fast. When you spray it on your hand, I'm just checking to make sure I don't have anything already there. First blast, instead of smelling the atomizer, you're going to get that lavender mint actually, like when you actually spray it, right as soon as it hits you, you're getting that little bit of a fragrance there, but it's mostly very powerfully that honey and tonka mix, but it smells delicious. If you don't like sweet, creamy fragrances, you're going to hate this. Just being honest with you, you might want to stick towards more the EDT, the Eau de Toilette. It doesn't really quite smell anything like this, as these things often go. But if you do like creamy, delicious, almost desserty like type of fragrances, you will go bananas about this. It is so in your face, actually. Not in an offensive way, but it is very, very, very delicious. Very beautiful. It has an elegant, it's not cheap in any kind of way. The fragrance, even though it smells very headstrong with the honey type of scent, not in like a cheap, poorly done type of way. Definitely something you would expect from a house like this. But it's strong. It is strong, and this is one of the strongest fragrances that I have. I have Sauvage Elixir. I've done a video of that already. Maybe if I can figure out how to, I'll put it up here somewhere. And that one, of course, everybody knows, lasts forever. But as I've worn this, everybody at my job, not in an offensive way again, but everybody at my job, even with different noses, have all smelled this on me all day long. I work 10-hour shifts, and they definitely smell this on me all day long. But again, like I said, your creamy type of vanilla scents are going to do something like that a lot of times if it's very dense. And this one tends to last an extremely long time, even on the skin. At the end of my day yesterday, I worked 10 hours. By the time I got off, I was still, from this far away, able to smell basically what it smells almost immediately after the opening. It dries down pretty quick and stays fairly consistent for a very long time. This is a 6.7 ounce bottle, but the 4.2 ounce, which I would recommend for most people, or even the smaller one, or like go to the store and smell it. If you're going to give this a shot, if you're going to blind buy it, get the smaller bottle to make sure that you like it first. That one's roughly $152 US. So not the most expensive fragrance ever, but it's also not dirt cheap like a Hawas or something like that. So again, you really want to make sure this type of fragrance is something that you like before you go out and buy it, because if you don't, you're going to hate this. If you do like it though, you're going to love what you get out of this, because it lasts forever. It's I would say a fall winter type of fragrance if you get the La Male Elixir, compared to, I believe, the EDT is much more of like a, could be any time of the year, could be a spring. Now, if you like it like me, you'll wear it any time of the year. It doesn't really matter. People's opinions be damned. But if you want to put this in a category, it's 100% a fall type of fragrance into the winter. But it is beautiful, very delicious. It might be a silly word for a fragrance, but very romantic. My wife even feels that way about this. It's very romantic and beautiful. It's not like overly masculine. It's very beautiful and like lush. I can see you wearing a sweater. If you put this on a sweater, especially wool, then it's really going to last forever. You better be careful. Don't spray too much of this. I would 100% recommend a max of maybe 5 sprays. That might sound a lot for some people, but for me, I do the whole, some people just do one good spray on their shirt and they're fine. I love my fragrances to be like really lasting on me for my long days. So I do a neck, a shirt, 2 wrists, sometimes the back of the neck, so that rounds out that 5. But even just 2 to 4 sprays on your neck and your shirt or wherever you'd like to, it definitely does not become nose blind. For me, it could happen to you. So far, I've not had that experience with this bad boy. It lasts and you don't get used to it. But again, like I said, these vanilla-y, honey type of scents, that's going to kind of be the case. They tend to fade away from most of us, or at least for most people that I've talked to and encountered, a lot less than certain other types of things will. So I love it. I think it's beautiful. It's not the most expensive thing ever, but then again, it depends on your budget. But as always, I highly recommend going and smelling for yourself if you get the chance, instead of just, basing things off of people from the internet. But if you do think how I explained this seems like something you would love, it's definitely a wonderful smell, a wonderful fragrance. I say give it a shot if that's your thing. Buy responsibly. That's what I always like to try to promote on here, because again, I'm not trying to promote people to just throw their bank account away buying anything and everything relentlessly. But Jean-Paul Gaultier, La Male Elixir definitely stands up. It is something you would very much expect from a more well-known fashion line, something along those types of house. But I love it, and hopefully you do too. And if you buy this, either if you already own it or if my video has inspired you to buy it, please let me know what you think once you get it, because this is one of my favorite fragrances, and I have 2 bottles of this, so that way I don't run out for an extremely long time. Although I wear it infrequently, because ones I love so much, I try not to wear them too often. But it's beautiful. I cannot recommend this enough if you're into those type of sweet, delicious, creamy type of fragrances, those type of scents. I keep wanting to say flavors. And again, it does not wear out. As far as my personal skin, and my skin does pretty bad holding on to things, it lasts an extremely long time. So again, I'm Andrew. This is the Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel. This is me talking about this lovely fragrance, Jean-Paul Gaultier's La Male Elixir. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this and me just being honest and like unedited cuts as best as I can do, just to keep it real with you guys. And again, let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me if you decide to get this for yourself, or if you already had it, what's your impressions, if you like it or if you don't. And thank you guys for watching. Lots of love your way, and God bless. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time. And don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more, and check out some of my other videos. So see you later.